Hello everybody. We have a couple of minutes before 1, but we just wanted to go ahead and introduce the topic. And the topic that we'll be covering is how to start and maintain a consistent wellness practice. And if you are new here, welcome to the Yoga Green Book page. We are Ufulu Child. I am Hortencia Tenci Campbell.
I am Maurice Sol Xprsn Clark. We make up Ufulu Child, and we are freedom seekers.
Right on. And I'm also an instructor with Yoga Green Book, as far as Kemetic, or also known as ancient Egyptian yoga, or ancient African yoga. Yes. So I see we have one viewer. Let's see what time it is. Okay, we have 1 more minute till we start. Anyone that's here tuning in right now, go ahead and comment below your name and where you're from. We love to hear from you. This is going to be interactive. We're going to do a short talk and then wrap up with Q&A. So go ahead and put that down, you know. Yeah.
Really excited to get into today's topic of how to start and how to maintain a wellness practice.
Yes. And that main thing of consistency is a piece that a lot of us tend to struggle with, staying consistent in our wellness practice in the midst of life and all of its happenings. Yeah. But I think we can go ahead and get started officially.
Word. So first, to start off the topic of how to, we're going to split it up into 2 main sections of the talking portion. It's going to be how to start, main topic, first topic, and then how to maintain, the second topic. And so how to start a wellness practice in general, you want to, or our main method is to start off by what we call listening to your inner being. Listening to your inner being. So what does that mean? That means taking time when you know that you have an urge to build upon and actually start a wellness practice, or even expand a wellness practice. You want to take time to center yourself, quiet yourself, and really listen to what maybe the body or the mind is calling for that you want to work on first, or what's the highest calling, what's the most important thing I want to work on and improve upon in terms of a wellness practice. What do I want the wellness practice to improve or to help me with? Did you want to add on to that?
And with that, it's really as simple as just taking a moment for yourself and really considering why you want to expand your wellness practices in a certain area, what your goals are in terms of yourself, and that's set aside from what other people tell you that you should do. It's what really inside of you is resonating with your heart and your soul in terms of what you'd like to accomplish for yourself, and that's the starting point. So
listening to your inner being is first step to starting a wellness practice.
I also want to talk about the mindset in terms of when you're starting a wellness practice. Wellness is not just the physical body. So we're talking about not just this body right here, but also your emotions, your mental state, your spirituality, how you are in your relationships and your career. Wellness is a 360 experience. So when you're starting off, you are better equipped if you have a mindset that's putting self-care and your own wellness as a priority. Because if you aren't taking care of yourself, if you are just letting life
beat you up,
then how can you be there for other people? How can you help support other people in their journey? So you have to fill up your cup. So the self-care is at the priority, and that's the mindset.
Yeah. And so using your minds, wiring your mindset in order to prioritize taking care of yourself. And really, that's really important, taking care of yourself first, even.
Absolutely.
They say when you're on an airplane, if there's any drop in breathable air to the masks that drop down, the little yellow masks, they always say put yours on first and then try to put your children's on. And why is that? That's because if you don't put yours on first, there's a high chance that both of you guys are out of there.
Yeah, so
if you don't take care of yourself first, and when it comes to wellness situations and emergencies like that, or anything that's a strong pull that you really want to work on this aspect of your life or these aspects of your life, you want to put your mask on first and then try to branch off. And so you listen to your inner being. And then, what did you want to say?
So listen to your inner being, and then the mindset of self-care is a priority. For everyone that's here right now tuning in, I see that we have 4 viewers. So go ahead and comment your name, shout yourself out, say your name and where you're from in the comments, and we'd love to hear from you. We're going to do a Q&A later on, and right now we're doing the discussion just to make sure that everyone is in the loop. All right,
yes.
So
and welcome.
Covered. Yes. Oh.
So listen to your inner being, and from listening to your inner being, whatever comes up, whatever calls to you that you definitely want to work on now, you want to work on first. That's the highest calling. You want to take some time to research that thing. You want to look into whether that's talking to your providers for, like she said, not just necessarily the body, but your doctors, physicians are important to talk to. The people that you surround yourself with that know about wellness, that are experienced in helping others. You want to get some research done, looking into, and sort of that subconscious planning. You want to jumpstart that before maybe jumping into something that you don't have too much information about at the time being. And so you want to research that, and we say for at least 3 days, take at least 3 days to just kind of dive into what the wellness practice will be for you, from listening to your inner being, setting your priorities, and whatever comes up as you listen to yourself, that I have to work on this before I can work on other things. You want to look into that for at least about 3 days before you jump in. Did you want to add to that?
Yes, and when you're conducting this research, you're consulting your doctors, and you're also consulting yourself. So as you're researching, don't just go implementing things all willy-nilly. You need to make sure that it resonates with you, because the most effective wellness practice will be one that is customized, personalized to you.
Yeah.
Not anybody else. It's yours. So it must suit your lifestyle needs, goals, and dreams and things.
And where you are right now.
Yes.
A lot of times, listening to other people, sometimes we might jump too far into the pool before we've fully learned how to swim, and that could lead to some disastrous or less severe troubles. And so we don't want to hurt ourselves when we want to heal ourselves. It's a little counterproductive. And so...
yeah. And on the other side of that, sometimes depending on who is surrounding us, we might feel doubtful or deterred from moving toward something that might be very beneficial for us, just because it may not be the social norm. It may not be something that your neighbors are doing or your friends are doing. So you might just have to be that cow that's jumping over the moon.
Well, yeah, and that's a big part of where the research comes in, because you'll be able to, even if you don't necessarily argue with them, you'll be able to know yourself that, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Or this is what I need to work on, or whatever. Or this is how I'm going to approach this wellness practice, even if nobody around me is doing so in that way. And that leads us to make sure that when it is time to go ahead and dive into it, after you have looked up and spoken to people that know what they're talking about what you're going to do, take baby steps. There's no need to, let's say if the wellness practice you want to get into is to do some fasting for, weight loss or whatever, take baby steps and don't jump too far, like I said, into the water before you really know how to swim and before your muscle memory, your mental state, and your emotional state knows how to swim as well.
Wellness is a journey, so every day is not going to look the same in terms of your practice.
Right.
And it's important to allow yourself to adjust and to find your footing, because this is something new, so you need to find your groove. And don't be deterred if at first it's completely new and it's my gosh, just keep at it. Keep at it with those little tiny steps. Tiny steps. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So baby steps are very important. We practice as we advance our wellness practices. We move in baby steps, and the way that we suggest that you might want to move into these things is take it sort of one step at a time, or one addition to your schedule, so to speak, at a time. You want to stick to your new habit like I said, one at a time, until that becomes effortless, until it becomes second nature to be doing this new behavior.
I wanted to touch on that specific to yoga, a yoga practice. Whenever you are starting out, or if you have had a hiatus from yoga for a while and you're trying to start a consistent yoga practice, something that's important is to work from where you are right now. So instead of trying to jump back into like the advanced poses and sequences that you used to do, and maybe you're a little achy in the hips or something, or in the shoulders, you need to warm that up a little bit. It's all good. You gotta work with where you are. So be sure to explore the more restorative yoga practices as well. Explore alignment and ways to protect your joints and things like that in yoga, and
proper breathing.
So it's all good. Just start somewhere, and if that's a beginner's class and then you work your way back up, right on. You're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, every day is a new start, and so there's no need to tell yourself that I'm not moving fast enough. I just want to be better now. Those things can lead down a slippery slope to, like I said, you hurting yourself when you're trying to heal yourself.
Yes. So now we shift into maintaining this wellness practice. We talked about how to start it. So let's review that one
time real quick. So first and foremost is take time, 1 day, 2 days, to really listen to your inner being, to contemplate, quiet yourself and contemplate, what do I want and need to work on right now that is the most important, or that is the most pertinent.
And then next, go ahead and research that wellness aspect that calls to you. Consult your doctors, consult yourself, and really dive in for about 3 days.
About 3 days, yeah.
Give or take, depending on you,
Make sure that you work from where you are and take baby steps toward the fullness of whatever wellness practice you're interested in doing. And stick to the new habits that you put into your schedule one at a time until they become effortless.
And also that last piece, that's be sure to have that mindset where self-care is a priority in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be even before listening to yourself.
Yeah, that mindset is priority.
Yeah.
That's
so
number one.
Now, to maintain a wellness practice, you've listened to yourself, you know what you want to do, you've researched a little bit on the topic, you stuck to the habits one at a time, and now you have a wellness practice, but life and scheduling and unforeseen circumstances starting to pile up, and you're wondering if you can keep going. The first thing that we wrote here is to pick a time of day for that specific practice. A time of day for your practice, and maybe even a space if you do the practice in home or in a specific building or in a specific outside area near somewhere that you are every day or every week or every month. Pick a space and time that you do that, and that'll be the space and time that you go and participate in your new practice.
That we have that muscle memory. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing that week where you have that set time every week, you're building that muscle memory. Mm-hmm. Let's see, is connectivity?
It's fine.
Okay.
But it was.
All right.
So yeah, you pick a time of day for your practice, and that really helps solidify the one at a time habits becoming efforts becoming really just a part of who you are and what you are improving upon, and you don't look at it as work anymore. It's just a part of your day or a part of your weekly schedule.
Right on. And now that it's ingrained,
mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, okay, so this is on my schedule. This is what I'm doing right now. Block it out. Put it as busy on your Google Calendar so nobody else can try to get that spot.
Okay.
That's for you.
Shout out to Google Calendar. The next is you want to journal your findings or any progress. I know journaling is a great way to not only just record your findings to look on them later, but also to help solidify the why that you are participating in this wellness practice, that you've introduced this wellness practice yourself and to your weekly schedule. You want to journal any findings that you've made from experience that you might not have found during your research or talking mm-hmm. to your friend or your doctor, and you definitely want to record any progress that you've made to give yourself another kind of pat on the back, a keep going, some encouragement. Self-encouragement is very, very important. Did you want to add to that?
Yes, and with the whole journaling thing, you're not just talking about physical things like, oh, I lost 5 pounds and I'm really happy, or oh, I got my 6-pack and I'm really happy, or things like that, but it's also energetically, how do you
mm-hmm.
feel? Are your energy levels boosted? Talk about that as well when you're journaling.
Did they drop?
Yeah, depending on what you did.
Yeah.
Really start to use this journaling experience to tune into yourself more and turn inward more in terms of your intuition and just the inner knowing of how to move forward in your practice.
Yeah,
it's
so maybe...
support.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So maybe every 3 sessions or practices, go ahead and journal some of your findings, some of your progress, and just what has become of your new wellness practice.
You can also do it after every session, just in case you might forget the feeling. Just as soon as you're done, just jot down, yeah, a little before and after.
Yep.
Really good to track.
Yep.
Okay, so next we have find someone you can talk to about it. So this is that community aspect, that accountability aspect of maintaining a consistent wellness practice. If you have a buddy, if you have a friend, if you have an instructor that you dig, somebody, anybody that knows that you're doing this wellness practice, go ahead and ask them if they can kind of
course of time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk about your progress and your goals and things, and have some like accountability buddy and just a resource to talk to give some extra fuel in those days that you might feel like I could go without doing this today, because those days will come.
Those days will come, and it's very important to be self-aware, mm-hmm. and it's also very important to, like she said, have a buddy that can help you be accountable mm-hmm. for what you've decided that you want to do and work on, and it takes about 21 days to really solidify a new habit and or a new mindset. So definitely very important to find someone to just chat with about whether you want to talk about what you've been journaling in terms of your progress, or just what you're doing and how you're going to advance it after the new one at a time habit is solidified or whatever, you want to take some time to go ahead and talk to somebody about it.
And also, in terms of finding somebody, if they're not already your friend, that's perfectly fine. Be open to sharing with other people, connecting with other people about this practice. And especially seek out people that are already doing what you would like to do. Because if you surround yourself with people that are doing things that, oh, I didn't know that was possible, but that is so amazing, they will just lift you up and just like, oh, you'll be very motivated and motivated to keep going.
And speaking of motivation, the next thing here is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk along the way is probably the biggest asset to staying consistent, because when we tell ourselves that we're failing, like I said, if we feel like we're not moving fast enough or getting the results, the physical results fast enough, or even the mental, sometimes the mind can attack pretty strongly. In terms of telling you you're not good enough, you're never going to get the results you want, things like that.
Doubts, anxiety.
So using your powers of discernment and moving your attention to the positive aspects of self-talk and telling your negative thoughts, no, you have no place here, you don't help.
And during your practice, reconfirm with yourself these benefits of your practice. So when you've been journaling, those will just help, because you'll be able to look back and tangibly see the benefits, your progress. So be sure to go back to that. And in your journaling, also incorporate that positive self-talk. So no shame zone. This is a no shame zone when you're trying to have a consistent wellness practice and maintain it. So next, we have so when life gets to be like life, you want to go ahead and adapt your wellness practice to your new lifestyle needs. So this might mean that, okay, so today I can maybe only do 5 minutes of yoga, or I can only do an intermittent fast if I'm fasting, or I can only be still in 15 minutes, or for something like that, instead of regular longer time. Or okay, I need to shift this off my calendar to here, but I'm still doing it today, but it's just moving around. Or you might adapt it however suits you and your needs in that moment.
Yeah, because change is the only constant. And so when something, when you get used to doing something a certain way, like I said before, a certain space that you might have, a certain time of day, and then that space and time of day is no longer available due to unforeseen circumstance or just regular change through life, you want to, in terms of maintaining your wellness practice, you want to adapt, flip, change, and through time, make your goal to be consistent versus to get the result, because the result will come.
It will always come.
Yeah.
Where there's consistency and your intention is lined up, it will come.
So make sure, and then with the positive self-talk, can't do it at 3 o'clock anymore. 3 o'clock was the only time I stopped it there. That's not true. And things like that, that we have to sort of just wiggle in that positive self-talk and maintaining consistency being the goal of the wellness practice, because practice makes perfect, but nobody's perfect. So you're always going to be practicing, you're always going to be improving, and growth is a part of life.
And you are enough and you are worthy. And
right now.
Yeah, right now. So you ain't got to really worry about all that extra. You good.
All right.
You good.
So I believe now we want to go ahead and open up for a Q&A. So if you have any questions or just comments that you'd like us to respond to, please go ahead and just type it in.
Or concerns. So this is the time for any questions about
maintaining or starting a consistent wellness practice.
So go ahead and put them down in the comments. Also, let us know who you are and where you're from. So we'll give you a little bit of time to type. Just no big deal.
Anybody?
Any questions?
And I hope, it seems the connection is a little slow, so I hope that you haven't been typing these things the whole time and we're just unable to see, because that would stink, because we don't see any questions right now or anything, but I do see that there's viewers, so
Right on. Yeah, if you just want to recap, let us know. We're just chilling, It's all good. We're on the couch. We're at home.
So if there's any questions that you may... Okay, Mississippi. Any tips for wellness practice after trauma and trying to return to self after trauma when you've started incorporating therapy into your life? Do you mind if I start? So shout out to Mississippi. Shout out to Nadia Alexis. Any tips for wellness practice after trauma and trying to return to self? So the words that we use are very powerful. And so using thought patterns and words like I want to return to self means that somehow I have left the self. Right? So I'm going to return to the trauma in just a second, but definitely want to start off by, like I said, listening to your inner being, and the inner being will never tell you that you have left yourself. It might, the mind, now some thoughts may appear that may say things like that, but that is watched, that is observed and perceived by your inner being. And so first you want to be, if there's one thing that we know, and we might say the rest of the things that we think we know, we've researched, we've studied a little bit, but it may change through time. But if there's one thing we know we exist. I know I am here because there's an unchanging self within everybody that is consistent, universal. It doesn't have a specific religion or anything like that. And so we want to work from the place when it comes to a wellness practice, especially when it comes to healing from trauma. Work from a place that you know you are here and you have never left yourself, and like she just said a second ago, that you are enough right now, and
regardless of what happened.
Regardless. And so now, in terms of a wellness practice after trauma, meditation would be my favorite. Meditation in a way that leads to what's called self-inquiry or self-contemplation, or just contemplating the self, because there's a way that you can meditate, that you can come to center and
find stillness and peace.
And experience for yourself that there is a stillness and a peace that is always present. There's a stillness and a peace that's present in the middle of the busy shopping mall, so to speak. It doesn't matter what's going on out here or in the mind, or even in terms of like a feeling combined with a thought that may get really intense and bring back the memories from what was traumatic, or if it was a physical trauma that you might not even remember what happened in the environment, but you have the pain and you have those things show up. There's a way with self-inquiry that you question, okay, I see and feel these thoughts and feelings showing up. I can perceive that. What is it that is perceiving these things showing up? What is it that knows the intensity and the weakness of these things showing up? What is it that's watching, so to speak, my association with what I think as myself, and the trauma and the feelings that are showing up that are related to the trauma? Did you want to add to that?
I think that where trauma is considered, it is probably one of the most healing things that you can do in the moment when it just gets to be too much to sit with self sometimes, is instead of meditating in the typical way that you might think of visualizing or meditating on something or creating something or some whatever thing like that, or trying to pull to your senses and things and memories, put all of that aside and instead just start to strip back all of the layers of yourself. So stripping back anything having to do with the past. Just throw those memories aside for the moment. In terms of your expectations for the future, just throw those aside for the moment. Your goals,
your name, your history,
your gender, how you identify as a concept of yourself, who you think you are. Throw that to the side for now. Whether you think you're a good person, bad person, this happened, blah, 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 throw that to the side. Throw everything, all concepts of yourself to the side. Even throw the concept of you watching this video right now to the side. Of you having a body right now to the side.
And what is left?
And when you ask yourself what is left, you turn inward and you really look to see after I put everything aside, what is left, what is there, and look to see for yourself what that is. This is the root of really any wellness practice, to discover who you are when everything is stripped away. And that's probably the most healing thing that you can do. And to take that further, when you look and see what's there, start to ask yourself if this space, if this whatever that's left, if it has a shape or a size.
Is the space that was there before you've collected all of these things affected by all of these things we collected?
Like, really pause to ask yourself if there are any challenges or traumas in this space where everything is to the side. You haven't picked up anything new. It's just to the side. You can always go back to your traumas later, but for now it's gone. Ask yourself a series of questions just to look within and really discover it for yourself. Experience all that is there and what it is exactly for yourself. Does it have an age? Does it have an appearance, etc.?
Does it belong to a specific group or religion? Does it have a certain wellness practice? Anything. You want to necessarily put your mind aside or leave your mind outside for the moment, and find out, like I said, who you were before you had an idea of who you were.
And this is not anything that takes
visualization
or certain effort.
Yeah,
it's just you as is.
Just be empty.
Yes.
Just be totally empty, and you will find 100% of the time that there is no association with self and trauma. There is only the self.
Like your true self.
And it is very peaceful, and it is powerful and still, and powerful in its stillness. And so that's the space that self-inquiry will lead you to. And so
and when anything in life starts to bubble up and it feels like it's too much, you can always go back to discovery, that experience of yourself. That is like your anchor in a storm. Because although we said the only constant is change, really the constant is that self where when everything else is stripped away, what's left? That is constant. That's where everything unfurls out of.
It's where everything changes within.
So everything else is temporary, even though it may not seem that way, except for who you truly are.
Because you, meaning not you plus your body, not you plus your mind, your heart, mind,
your personality,
you are already free. And you can never be caged. And so that's what this leads to. I hope. I see you said, wow, I haven't heard that before. That's
we don't normally hear this.
Yeah, nobody addresses this. Nobody, no doctor, no, let's say, temple or church or anything is really going to deal with who you were before you got here. And who you are before you have an idea of who you are, or I want to be this type of person, or they call me Bob, and so I have to act like Bob, and if I act like Bill, then I'm not doing it right. Stuff like that. So that's where it all begins, but it doesn't have a beginning. That's where it will all end, but it doesn't have an ending.
It just is.
Yes, you just are. This is exactly what I was going to say. You just are, and so that it just is just as accurate.
Synchronicity.
Are there any more questions, or Nadia, did you want to add
let us know.
anything that may have come up?
Feel free. This is the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and if you would like us to expound.
They both work.
Right on. Go ahead and put your questions.
And we love you.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
From the bottom. Know that.
Yes, worthiness.
So if there's no more, let me see.
What time is it?
Okay.
1:35. Oh, we've just been on here like
35 minutes. So if there's no more questions or concerns, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up with a couple.
So we are Ufulu Child, and Ufulu Child. Well, Ufulu means freedom, so freedom child, basically.
You're welcome.
Oh, yay! Thank you for asking.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for participating. And anyone else, thank you so much for watching. And like she was saying, we are Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom.
And I am Hortencia Campbell, also known as Tenci. And I have some Kemetic yoga videos on the yogagreenbook.com website. And if you're interested in connecting with us, we're in Austin, but we're also online.
Yep.
You can do so by, two ways. One, you can join the VIP list. Oh, can you see that? Yeah. That's ufuluchild.com/VIP.
Yeah, and the replay will be up, so you'll be able to pause the video if that's too fast.
Absolutely. And we also have a 360 transformation program that is called Kemetic EIO Personal Wellness Program.
And EIO stands for, Kemetic is another word for ancient Egyptian. And so Kemetic, E is experiential, I introspective, O optimization. So experiential, introspective optimization. And it's really rooted in you and what you need and where you want to go, and who you already are in your freedom and in your truth.
Yes, so this is just we've taken a few things. Yeah, that's the website right here. ufuluchild.com/personal sessions.
Personal sessions.
Personal sessions. That is ufuluchild.com/personal sessions.
All right.
Yeah, so one last call. If anybody has any questions, we'd love to address them. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we really appreciate you guys for watching to the end and participating. Thank you again, Nadia, Alexis. And much love, much grace to you, encouragement to you, blessings to you, prayer to you, praise to you.
Gratitude.
You are enough. Gratitude to you, and
you got
unconditional love.
Yes. Love and hugs.
And don't think it doesn't come through the screen, baby. It comes through the screen. It's there.
We're just reflections. You're great.
Yeah.
So that is.
Thanks so much.
Peace, y'all.
Peace and love.